somebody out there watching the show may be interested in helping you. It's time now to answer some of your business questions. Jean and Brian are back with us again to help out. The first one is a question about the future of outsourcing.
As an onshore outsourcing company, of course, I'm very interested to learn more about what you think the future of onshore outsourcing is as compared to offshore.
As far as I hear, a lot of people are bringing stuff back to the United States right now.
They are.
I mean, I can speak from personal experience that I outsource a lot. Like, I am an outsourceaholic.
Overseas.
Yeah, you know what? Wherever I can find good, skilled people at an affordable price, I'm going to outsource them. I really don't care if they're from the U.S. or not. But having said that, we've been doing a little bit more overseas than domestic, mainly because we outsource development work. And it seems like every guy and his cousin in the Ukraine does some kind of development work, and they do it affordably, and we're able to do that. And there's so many tools to manage them nowadays. It just makes it a lot easier to do. But as far as the future of outsourcing, I just think as the world becomes flatter, it just becomes easier to reach out to these people with the technology today, and I don't really care where they are as long as they're skilled.
I certainly care about the skills, but the cultural issues are important to me, and the proximity. I need to hug the people I actually work with, people I actually can have a conversation with. I want to be able to sort of look into their eyes. So I just started a new company, and I've outsourced it to Long Island, which is that other sort of continent on the other side of Manhattan. And I find that being able to be with them and talk to them and hang with them is a critical component of getting things done the right way the first time.
But Brian, you've never seen some of the developers I work with. You wouldn't want to be hugging these guys, okay?
But you work with a lot of companies, though, Brian. Do you find that a lot of them who are outsourcing are outsourcing domestically?
Yes, much more than ever before, because they've tried that already, and that was just a trend.
And didn't work for them.
And it didn't work for them.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is from an entrepreneur who wants to know how to get people to call you back.
Does the panel have any advice or assistance in encouraging people to return their phone calls in a more timely manner?
It's a good question. Can you say something in a message that gets someone to call you back faster?
From my vantage point, if I have a benefit to call them back, I'll do it. If there's something that's going to give me something of added value, I want to call them back. Certainly a friendly voice unto itself rather than sort of an antagonistic one would make me want to reach to this unknown stranger that's calling me. So yeah, I try my best, but we're all over emailed and over calls, so it's pretty difficult to sort of define which ones you will call and won't.
Unless there's a need. I mean, I can't put a gun to somebody's head and say, do this, right? I mean, people will do it based on their desire to do it. So it's our job, it's his job, it's all of our jobs as business owners to make sure we're at least touching the people, you know, our prospects, our customers, our community often enough so that when it comes time for people to reach back out to us, they're thinking of us first. But
so
actually,
you are a hugger?
Yeah. No, just touching electronically.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is a question from Vince, and he writes, I have a provisional patent for a new auto sunshade product. I've hit a stone wall trying to develop the idea into the commercial product. I don't want to use the inventor help companies who advertise online. I'm frustrated and wonder what my next step should be. This is a great question. I just went through this with my 12-year-old nephew. You have a great idea. What do you do with it? How do you turn an idea into a company?
I can only speak for, and Brian, I bet you've got some great ideas on this, but you know, from where I live in Philadelphia, I would immediately reach out to the academic institutions in our area. For example, University of Pennsylvania has a Small Biz Development Center that's there, and they're well tied in with the Ben Franklin Technology Center. I mean, it's one all big sort of incestuous community of inventors and investors and all of that good stuff. So if I had that idea, I'd probably be reaching out to the Small Biz Development Center locally in the area and say, I've got this idea. I'd like to work with somebody, get a little bit of funding, and get somebody to help me develop this, including some legal help for, you know, filing patents or whatever requirements there are. That's one of the first steps that I would take.
The best answer is actually, though it's right in front of you, talk to the lawyers who are actually in the patent business. They're the ones who literally have the ecosystem around them that knows all about these products, who to go to, who to talk to, so that you don't waste your time just trying to sort of go through what may be a menagerie of people who really don't have clarity about what that product is all about.
That is exactly right. And because you're finding, even in the VC community, I mean, there's just a community of people that do this.
That's right.
The other thing is you can license your idea. So if you're not the guy to create a whole business around this, you can go create a presentation. It's hard. You have have to knock on a lot of doors. You have to get someone to call you back and to listen to you, but then license your idea out to a company.
But JJ, remember, you're not in the business of doing this. This is probably not what you know. So I think the key thing is to find somebody who's in the business of doing this, like a really good attorney or somebody in that community who can guide you along. Be aware. I mean, some of those attorneys, if they like the idea, they might want to take a little equity in what you're doing as well. Be prepared for that.
Well, Gene and Brian, thank you so much for everything today. I really appreciate having you guys around.
Thank you.
And if any of you out there have a question for our experts, just go to our website. The address is openforum.com/yourbusiness. There, hit the Ask the Show link to submit a question for our panel. Again, the website is openforum.com/yourbusiness. Or if you'd rather, you can email us your questions. We like